All right. There we go. Oh, I don't know what that was. All right. Here we go. I'm live. I think. Yes. YouTube is telling me I am live. All right. I'm going to wait a couple minutes before I get started. Just a few moments. We'll see. Today is going to be a fun one. So we've got 5 phrases, 5 thematic statements, if you will, that we've come up with in the past few episodes. And from here, things are going to speed up a little bit. You know, something I was noticing recently is I haven't really followed my own process for this. I mean, I definitely stuck closer to it earlier on, and the main ideas are true. My main idea of like sketching out a bunch of different ideas, building from the motifs and everything. But it's in terms of like the level of detail I normally like to get down to, though, it's getting a little tricky, just because I'm recording myself while I make these decisions. So it's and it's only 1 hour a week that I get to spend on this piece, but it's been fun. I'm excited to see where this goes now, because now we have 5 thematic statements that we get to play with, and a couple of these are going to be expanded into full-on themes, full-on pieces, full-on sketches. And then from those sketches, I'll pick one. I'll pick one to orchestrate and to actually like mix and master, and you'll get to see that whole process as well, until we have a full, like 1, 2, maybe 3-minute long primary theme for these characters. And then after that, it'll be a simple matter of reorchestrating it and rearranging it to make sure that it fits for the different settings that we've selected. All right, I think I've been talking long enough at this point. Let's get started. We'll see if anyone joins on. All right, so let's listen to the thematic statements that we had previously. I'm going to go into the MIDI view for this. Here we go. Let's make this a bit smaller so I can see the whole thing. All right. So far, I think I'm liking that one the most. No, I like this one. I think I want to switch up that ending, but this one definitely made the ticket. All right, so of those 5 ideas, only one leapt out to me right away. So what that tells me is I'm not going to worry about eliminating anything. Oh, opened up on my other screen. Oh, these are the horns that we were working with. Here's just a couple of my libraries. Yeah, let's go with the giant. Wow, everything is so loud today for some reason. All right, there we go. We got the piano. Let's see. Theme 1, sketch. All right, so here I am going to just copy that, paste it over here. I'm gonna mute the sketches. Let's see, so this is 8 phrases. Let's see about doubling the length at first. All right, so there are a couple of forms I could take this in. If I wasn't limited to only having like a week that I get to work on, like 1 hour every week that I get to work on this, since everything has to be live. I would want to spend a lot more time figuring out what kind of organic form fits the characters the most. However, I don't have more than 1 hour a week to work on this. So I'm going to stick to a tried and true technique called binary form. All right, so what binary form is, it's almost, we're going to go with rounded binary. So what rounded binary is, a lot of people know it as A form. All right, so the idea is you have one statement. All right, this is the A material. All right, and then basically the entire idea is going to repeat. We'll make some modifications to it, but this would be the first phrase. In lots of rounded binary forms, there's actually a repeat sign, and the idea gets repeated verbatim. We're not going to do that. I am going to make some shifts here, just because I don't like using repeat signs too much. So we'll make some shifts here, and of course the biggest changes will come when we orchestrate this entire thing. But after phrase A1, A2, it's the same material. Next comes a B phrase. So if A was 2 8-bar phrases, we are going to add another 8-bar phrase. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And this blank spot right here would be the B material. All right. In the B material, we bring in a new theme, a contrasting theme. Typically in rounded binary form, what you're going to do is you're going to have, like I said, the first section, which is where this A material is first established and then repeated, is going to have a fairly decent, strong punctuation. We'll talk about punctuation in an upcoming video very soon, don't worry. But the second half needs to sound a lot more solid on its ending. And the main thing is for the second part, for the B section in particular, the energy needs to shift. Whatever the energy is in this section, which here it seems to be pretty high, relatively high if memory serves. I have gone like a minute without playing it. This section either needs to be higher energy or lower energy. Whatever it is, when we get to the B section, it needs to have a distinct shift. Then what makes this rounded binary instead of simple binary is rather than repeating the B material, we return to the original A material. So the nice thing about rounded binary form like this is after you've established a theme, right off the bat, you have a lot of your material done already. Now what we need to do is go through each of these 3 phases, make sure that they're each a little bit different. All right, so what I want off the bat, well, let's listen to it real quick. I'm deciding whether or not I want this section where we write new material to be higher energy or lower energy. As a heroic theme, typically what happens is it gets low energy. You've got a big heroic thing going on, then it comes down to a more lyrical phrase. You can think of like John Williams's, why am I blanking on the name? The Adventurer with Harrison Ford. Why am I blanking? It's such a, oh my goodness. Indiana Jones. Wow, I can't believe I forgot it. Indiana Jones. The theme. Da 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 da. So you've got that big, huge fanfare going on. And then in the second theme, for the same thing, it goes into a more lyrical phrase. Da 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 da, where it moves a lot more by step rather than leap. And I'm sorry for those of you who may have perfect pitch and realize how horrifically out of tune I was. But that's the strategy I think I'm going to go with. Establish energy, build the energy in the second repetition of the A material, establish new B material, which will be more lyrical, lower energy, and then come right back with the original material. Then when we orchestrate this to turn it into a full theme, we'll repeat the entire thing. It'll be a rounded binary form repeated, but where the real differences will start to come in will be the orchestration. You would be amazed with how much you can get away with repetition, so long as your orchestration shifts. That is something that John Williams is famous for, using very minimal material, very simple ideas, and just repeating them over and over and over again. So that if you had a sketch of it on a piano, it would seem very repetitive and very boring. But then he just breathes incredibly new life into his pieces with his orchestration. And I'm not comparing myself to John Williams, but that is what we will probably attempt to do here. So first, let's give a listen to this, hear how it sounds. All right, so right now, that's the first statement. Now we need to find a way to bring a little more life to this on this side. The first thing for me, I'm thinking, is possibly shifting the chords. But before we do that, let's first establish a simple bass line. For those of you who followed the harmony series, remember that the most basic bass line you can have is just the root notes. So let's start there. Oops, so E, G, then C, and then A, it looks like, then G, E. I'm just going to put them down randomly. We can change the keys and octaves in a moment. Then it looks like D, E, E, and nope, so that's where we repeat it. So let's see here. Let's give this a quick listen to. Oops, I've got all of those markers that are screwing up my rewind. All right, there we go. I like this movement up, down. Let's try and get some contrary movement. So we'll bring the A up so that this top line in the harmony is moving down. We'll have the bass move up, and the harmony is moving up, so then we move down. But let's bring that up an octave just so we're not jumping by more than an octave. Then it's kind of oblique motion. This stays in place. Well, this one moves. That's fine. Then this one moves down, so let's bring this one up if possible. No, that's going to be way too high. So let's do an inversion and have the A and give this a listen to. Let's actually try another inversion. So that works. There we go. Now, let's see. We'll just copy and paste. It's the same chords. Like I said, I don't like doing exact repetitions. Although that's perfectly fine in rounded binary form, it's just something I don't particularly enjoy doing. It's not my style, not my preferences. So let's see if we can find a few shifts here. Let's try see if we can come down here. All right, so let's see. And then we'll just make some quick changes. And here, I'm just doing these randomly. I'm trusting my gut, I'm following my instinct, and I'm just seeing where it'll take me. All right, I'm gonna bring those together. GBD, EGB. Let's bring that up a bit. All right, I'm just playing it back. There's gonna be a lot of playing back at this point, but let's see. Let's just see if this is a held note. Let's bring that up. You know what? What I'm thinking, what if I did have a bit more repetition, where it's just the same thing, but then added a counter melody? Possibly. We'll see. All right, so no comments yet. You guys are being unusually quiet this week. Let's see here, but that's all right. Let's see, every day is different. This way, I have been able to focus a bit more on the task at hand. Let's see here. Let's bring that down there. Wait 1 second. Yep, so that would make an A major minor. So that'd be a minor seventh to the chord underneath it. It should work. Let's see, what if we removed some of that syncopation? So, ba-da-da, ba-da-da. What if I did this? Now what if I shorten this, brought this up a little bit longer? What if I did 3? There we go. No. What if I kind of like that. We'll see. We'll make some changes. So right now, the biggest shifts that I'm already starting to anticipate for all of this are going to be in orchestration. So there's, of course, going to need to be an intro added to this. Something that builds a little bit. Maybe with a pedal. And we'll see. We'll create an energy map. We'll map it all out once we start orchestrating this idea, if this is the idea that we do end up orchestrating. But for now, let's focus on this B material. All right, there's an 8-bar phrase right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 bars. We get to bring in a new thematic idea here. So what I'm going to try and do, I would like to modulate. I think modulating is a great idea. It brings in modulating is switching to a new key. And it helps to freshen up the ear a little bit. So let's see, here we have, what chord is that? It's in the A, B. So that is a E minor. So it's an E sus4 resolving to an E minor. Now what I could do is instead of an E minor this time, go to an E major. And then an E major could lead us to right back to the key of A major. So let's see here. So then what if we did all right, here we go. Then we'll bring this down just a little bit for some rudimentary voice leading real quick. Oops, I forgot to have the 8th notes here. So I'm gonna move this down. So now I'm thinking, what if I did just modulate? So I've talked about this in a previous video, but what I've just done there is used E major as a secondary dominant to A major. All right, I've talked about this before, so I'm not going to get too into it at the moment. But the idea here is that E major, or E dominant 7, has a tritone in it, a tritone between its 3rd and 7th scale degrees. And those want to resolve to the 1st and 3rd of the, so what is it? Those want to resolve to the 1st and 3rd of the A chord, A major. So secondary dominants are an excellent strategy for either building momentum in your chord progressions or moving to a whole new key. The idea is that you take a chord, I'm going to put this on here so you guys can actually see. Take a chord, and we'll say here it was A major. All right, and we're gonna just build a dominant 7 off the 5th scale degree. All right, so E, a dominant 7 is a major triad with a minor 7 added, or a major triad with just another minor 3rd added on top. So 1, 2, 3, just like that. And that's a great way for just modulating very quickly and efficiently. So now let's figure out what kind of scale, what key we're working in. So I am blanking on my keys right now. I really should have these memorized a bit better. But let's see if we can. I'm going to show you a cool, nifty little trick. I'm just going to create a C major scale. Oh, that's right. We're not in 4/4 time. Let's see. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and then that would bring us to C. We're going to take it. So this is a C major scale. We're going to move it down so it's on A. So it looks like an A major has C sharp, F sharp, and G sharp. So it's got 3 sharps in it. All right. So 3 sharps in it. So let's see here. We've got to the A major. Now what if we just followed tertian harmony again? So then we could go from A major to C minor if we wanted to stay in the key. Oops, it's a G sharp. Then we could do E major, which would be the 5th. Or we could borrow from another chord, key, which I think is what I'm going to do, and borrow the minor 5. So instead of E major, we have an E minor. So we're going A major, C sharp major, or minor, E minor. Now let's see, next would be, we could do G major. That would be another borrowed chord that does not belong in A major, but we're being a little lax. This theme hasn't really stayed in a key anyways. But now, what if, let's see, so especially because G major would be the 7 chord, and so that would be a diminished. But let's give this a quick listen to. Let's see here. Oh, hey, how's it going, Shiloh? Shiloh says hi. I think I fixed the settings. I think you should be able to go back and see the comments after this is done being live. But we'll see. We'll see. All right, I'm going to just mute this stuff real quick because my brain is fried today. It's been a slow day with a lot of homework. So I'm going to try something and just see what happens when I sing. All right. Oh, ran out of space. Okay, so something interesting. So I'm not probably going with that idea, but something interesting that did happen that I noticed is when I started singing along to it, my mind just started to make sense of certain patterns. Chiefly, this entire motif focuses on building up. So for a contrasting theme, wouldn't it make sense to work with a motif that moves down? All right, so we've got a motif that builds on disjunct movement. That's large leaps. B to E, E to G. And it moves up. So what if I had one that started moving down and more lyrical, more flowing? Let's see here. So what if we did one of those? You know what, let's see if I can't try improvising something. My improv skills are trash, but we can try it. All right, so like I said, I am not a performer, but I think there's something there. It's so if this might be a good motif. And it actually fits in the key of A major. Da, da, da. Da, 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 da. Let's give this a listen to. All right, there's a little bit of stuff going down in here, but I am going to get rid of all of this. That's another thing to keep in mind is this is all very syncopated. We start on the second beat. So one and. Let's see, how many times can we picture this 1 second? Nope, 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 nope. All right, so the entire motif. We never come in on beat 1. So far, some ways I can create a contrasting theme is by starting the secondary theme on beat 1, moving downward mostly, and focusing on conjunct movement of notes that are next to each other less so than leaps. And I think that is a good recipe. Let's over here. We start here. Although I'm thinking this might not be 7/8 time anymore, so we might have to shift that up. Yeah, because that's going to move over here. I think this is 4 time actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, this is 4/4 time. So what are we going to do here? All right, so all of these sketches, we're pretty much done with these sketches. Over here, we're going to still need them, but I am going to take the time signature, move down here. And so when we get to this theme, this section B, I'm going to switch to 4/4 time. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1. So then we'll lengthen that a bit. So this is another great way to add contrast. Because remember, in rounded binary form, the point is to have contrasting themes. Related, so they work together, but they need to be contrasting. So far, we've found multiple ways, starting on beat 1, moving down, focusing on mostly conjunct movement with a few leaps. So especially if you notice here, the beginning of the motif starts out with leaps, then moves to conjunct movement. This motif starts with conjunct movement or steps, and then moves to leaps. So, and then switching to 4/4 time is helpful. Let's see here. Oh, why is it not? Ah, that's why. I was on the signature. Let's bring this up. Da, 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 that's a da 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 A E G sharp D sharp. Let's try this. Silo's asking, do I have perfect pitch? No, I do not. I barely have. Wow, I cannot think today. What's the term? Relative pitch. I barely have relative pitch. I practice solfege. I practice a lot of stuff so I can work on it. I can recognize most intervals when I sing them, if not by ear. But no, I do not have perfect pitch, which I kind of am grateful for. Don't get me wrong, I've heard that perfect pitch is amazing, but I've also heard there's just a lot of downsides to it as well. Where anytime things are out of tune or you can't quite enjoy certain kinds of dissonances and stuff. So for me, I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything without it. But yeah, so I guess that answers your question. Nathan's joining us. How's it going, Nathan? Thank you very much. Yeah, it's been pretty quiet so far today, but that's all right. Like I said, we're getting some decent work in on this theme. Let's give this a listen to real quick because we're wrapping up this B section. I'm going to move that over just a little bit to get it on an even weaker beat, because the second beat of 4/4 time is super weak, and the and of that is even weaker. There we go. Let's see, so B. Let's do this. We'll do one of these. Dotted quarter note. All right, there we go. We can figure out the chords to this in a little bit. Let's see how the melodies sound together in this binary form, though. Over here. I feel like that ending's a bit too rushed. Let's delete that. So, da na 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 na. Try that. There we go. And if we have them in different voices, this note can be held out over this. Let's see, an E major with a C sharp, that would be a E major 6. So it works. If this were to be held over, it'd be fine. It's not too terribly crunchy. So if we have a different voice playing this than the one that comes in here, when we orchestrate it, that should be fine. Yeah, this is pretty solid for a binary form. Very simple, very straightforward, and where it's going to get a lot, and I can't stress a lot of life into this sketch is when it's orchestrated. So just keep in mind, everything we've been working on right now is a sketch. All right, it is not a fully fleshed piece. There are 3 basic components to the sketches we've been making. We've got a melody, we've got the underlying harmonies, and we've got a bass line. A common 4th dimension that you can add to this would be a counter melody. If we were to use a counter melody, we might use a counter melody. We'll see. I don't know. Haven't made up my mind about that yet. But these are all common. All right. Lots of the time when you're working on a sketch, it's typically done with 4 clefs. So, like, we've just got 1 here. If we were to open this up, split it to split, we could have 2. So typically you would have a double of this. All right. So you would have on this one melody, this one chords. Then say that this was just another staff, you would have counter melody, bass line, or however you wanted to match it up. Just so you'd have basically 2 treble clefs, 2 bass clefs, and they wouldn't need to necessarily be written in the register that they'll be orchestrated in. They just need to be written in the way that's easiest to read. And that's a very common approach taken to writing music for orchestra. You start out with that sketch, just the bare essentials. And then from there, that's when you start breathing a bit more life into it, when you actually start writing parts for the individual instruments that are in your orchestra. Let's figure out a quick chord progression here. All right, so we are in the key of A major here. Either A major or F sharp minor. I'm going to say A major. All right, so the A major, let's see here. We have D and B on the strong beats of this first measure. All right, so D and B, to me, in this chord configuration would be B minor. Let's give it a try with the good old B minor. All right, another possible option would have been G sharp diminished, which would have been very haunting. Especially, it would have been sounded muddier in the low registers like this, though. It's a very, very harsh sound. There we go. I don't know why I was playing that. I was playing a G diminished, a minor 7 flat 5 minus the 3 there. But yeah, this would be the G sharp diminished. That'd be super dissonant. C sharp and F sharp. What does that tell you in the key of A major or F sharp minor? F sharp minor. That is an F sharp and a C sharp in there. So let's just go for that. So we'll put the C sharp there, the A there. All right, then here we have B and G sharp, which to me tells me E major. All right, so we'll put the E here. We'll put the, what is that? It's a C sharp. So we'll put the B here. That's a C. B, G sharp. C sharp, here we go. And C sharp with nothing but a neighbor tone, which means we have some freedom here. Okay, Mankin H, I'm so sorry if I butchered your name, asks, so it goes melody, chords, and bass line. That's the approach I'm taking here. Yes, so if you're following the melody series, there's a whole lot of different ways that I'll be covering down the line. I'll show you how to write a melody by starting with a rhythm. I'll show you how to write a melody starting with chords, how to start a melody with chord relationships. You name it, I've got a couple strategies that I'm excited to share with you guys. But for the most part, right now I'm sticking to just these basics. Melody, chords, bass line. That doesn't mean these are the only layers going to be used in the music. I might even remove some of these layers in the music if I think it best serves it. Lots of the time, the chords are removed, and instead only the most important notes are kept to create pedals and atmospheres. Right here, literally all of this is it's a skeleton. All right, and a lot of the time when the finished product is done, you don't see the skeleton anymore. Does that make sense? So what we're doing here is basically creating something that could be analyzed, a very basic building block. So if I were to think, all right, I'm writing for the strings now. All right, what role do I want my strings to have? I want my strings to have an ostinati, upper strings and an ostinati, a repeating rhythmic pattern that moves through different notes, and the lower strings to be on suspended key notes from the harmony. For all of that information, I would want to know what chords I'm working with. So while I'm orchestrating and writing, I can always reference this part, and I can look and see, so that's a B minor, and then it's followed by an F sharp minor, and then a E major, and just different stuff for me to look at. All right, but we've got B minor. So I hope that answers your question. Then F sharp minor, then E minor major. Then we could do A major, C minor, or another F sharp minor. Let's see here. So in the key of A major, B minor is going to be subdominant, so that's a weak chord. Then we have the F sharp, which is the sixth chord, which is a tonic chord, so that's strong. Then we have an E major, which is another strong chord. That's built on the fifth. No, that's a dominant. So it's a weak chord. It's a very weak chord. So we want to go for another strong one. So our options for strong chords here are A major, which is the 1, C sharp minor, which is the 3, and F sharp minor, which is the 6. All of those have the C sharp in them. So what do we want to go with? We will go with whichever one sounds the best. So we'll give them all a try real quick. That's a G sharp. So we'll put the C sharp there. Let's try an A major real quick. See how that sounds. Ooh, yeah, I do like that. I do like that. Just, it's a very simple 5-to-1 chord progression, which is always sounds nice. Although, we could do that's another good one too, is a 5-to-6. And then the last one would be, no, I like the 5-to-1 best. So now we've got D, B being the strongest. You know what? Why not? We've got the B minor. That could work. Or let's try it. Let's see, just see what it sounds like. A G sharp diminished. Ooh. Let's see here. Let's give this a quick listen to. You know what? I like it. It's crunchy and unexpected. I think it'll work for now. We might shift it around later. E to G sharp. Let's resolve this very simply. That works really well for us. Let's see here. Then B to C sharp. Let's see, so we're going back to the key, to an E minor. E minor for our home. So let's see what we can come up with. So E minor, if we follow that strategy of E, G, B, and then we build a dominant 7 chord. Off of that 5th note, we come to a B dominant 7, which could potentially work. Nope, too high. Let's give it a listen, just see how it sounds. Huh. Let's see. Don't like that for some reason. Let's see here. Well, I wouldn't need that seventh since the D sharp is non-diatonic. It means it does not belong to the key. And to use a secondary dominant, you just need one note present that doesn't belong in the key to show that you're not staying in the key. Let's see here. It's this, I don't like this. This resolution sounds a bit too natural for me. It sounds like it's too planned, and that doesn't, the resolution isn't fun for me. So what if instead we go from I like that. What if we try that? Maybe. We'll see. I'm not the biggest fan of it right now, but let's stick with it for now. B, D, F. Then this would be an F sharp. You know what? First, let's just figure these out. Where's the bass line over here? Let's drop this an octave so it's less confusing about telling what is chord, what is bass line. And that brings us to the end of the chords. All right, so then we'll do there so it's easier. B, then F sharp. Oops, why did I go that far? F sharp, and then E. And then looks like A. And then G sharp. Then a B. And then we just get back to our bass line from earlier. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we'll copy those 8, pop them here, drop them an octave, and let's give this a quick listen. Nope. Sorry, that was metronome. You know, it's almost a bit too low, so we're going to try something else. We're going to lower the velocity just so their colors shift. I'll be able to tell there. Alright, couple things I am just right off the bat no longer liking. I don't know why. I tend to like dissonance the first time I hear it and then no longer like it. I think it's because that G sharp came up. But you know what? Actually, let's see here real quick. This top line should be up here. Alright, yeah, I'm just not liking that dissonance anymore. But first, let's fix this ending. This last measure I'm just not liking. Nathan asks, are you going to orchestrate these compositions live? Yes, I am. So if you didn't know, I have an orchestration series on this channel already. They're some of my earlier videos, and the audio quality is not very good. It's super quiet, I have been told. So I do plan on redoing the series in the future. But in there, I laid out a pretty simple and easy to use approach to orchestration after you've learned about the different instruments. And I'll do something similar here. We are going to create an energy map. We'll figure out how the parameters in the music are going to be used to basically what kind of story am I telling with this music? How do I want it to grow as it goes on? And then from there, we will orchestrate it. Yeah, we'll create an orchestration map to know exactly what I want to do with each moment in this music. And then I'll orchestrate it with all of you guys. My computer is on its last legs at the moment. So I've got a buddy of mine who's got some spare parts that he's going to help me put into this, so that hopefully it can handle actually orchestrating while streaming. But yes, that's the plan. I do plan on orchestrating all of this live. When I started this series, I said it was going to be just an honest view of me writing a piece. And that's what I want to keep to. So everything, I'm going to mix it as well. So you'll watch me mixing it. Not all of this is going to be exciting. I'm just going to be honest and blunt. And a lot of it's going to be really, really boring to watch, which is why it's fun to talk with you guys while I'm doing it. But, and if I'm being honest, this isn't 100% my real approach to orchestration. It's close, but to writing in general, I mean. But I can't really give you my full approach because I'm having to divide my attention. I'm having to divide my attention between deciding what to do, having to talk out loud about what I'm doing, and then answering questions as well. So there are going to be inconsistencies. There are going to be little mistakes I make here and there, or just decisions that I wouldn't normally make. Or not to say that the quality is worse, just that in a lot of my videos I talk about taking a very strategic, very what's the word? I cannot talk today. Just a very structured approach to my composing. And I started with that at the beginning of the series, but as we've gone forward, I started to do more and more actual live versions of the videos. I've gotten a little more, which is actually kind of nice. I'm getting more back to my roots of just kind of like trusting my gut and just going with things the way they sound, the way it feels they should go. Does that make sense? Yeah, that was more than you asked for, but yeah. Long story short, yes, I will be orchestrating, I will be mixing, I will be mastering, I'll be doing all that stuff, all from this computer, all from live stream. Now let's see. Let's try that. I just feel like it's a little sudden. That's right, we're in A major. There we go. I like that. So now the next thing to switch up. Let's see here. I did not like the G diminished anymore. So we've got D and B. So I guess the next choice, that would make sense, would you go for a B minor? All right, yeah. I'm not in love with it, but I'll go with it. And then E to G sharp would say E major. Let's give that a try. Let's try that. What if we just blend them in together? I kind of like that. What is that doing up there? We'll bring these both up. There we go. Keep the colors coordinated. B, D, F, and another B. Oh, I don't like that though. What if we went down? Oh, that's right. So that's E, G, B. So I don't need to stay on B. I can just bring that down to the E. Let's see here. So the B, D, and F. So in a B, the D would resolve to E. But D sharp is the third. That's a very risky note to put into the bass line, especially since it's technically acting as a leading tone. So I don't know if I... So what if I went with the fifth for the new one instead? So, all right, there we go. Let's listen to this whole thing. So this is, let's see, how long is this? It's about a minute long so far. It's a simple binary form, rounded binary. So we've got the first statement, repetition of the first statement, new material, then a return to the original material. It's a very simple form. It's a very old form, and it's a very useful form to get to know. We will, if this is one of the themes that we do end up going with, and I'm actually kind of liking it quite a bit right now. I think this might actually be the one that we develop. Yeah, we'll see. But of course, we would probably double it, make it twice as long, make some shifts here and there, and then start working on an orchestration map for how do we want it to develop. Then, of course, making sure that we know how to make it loop, because this has to be basically like a video game music type thing, so it has to be loopable. But let's give this whole thing a listen to. Oh man, I'm already getting sick of it. That's one of the dangers. You got to keep your ears fresh when you're writing. Listen to other stuff. On second listen through, or I guess this is like what the bajillionth listen through, I'm not sure if I want to keep with rounded binary, which I think a simple binary would work better for the whole thing being loopable. The idea is we've got A material, B material, A material. So if we loop that back, that would be 3 A materials in a row. 1, 2, 3, before we get to B. So what we might try in the next week is doing something called simple binary, where there is no return to the original material. It goes A, B, B form. So that we would expand more on this new statement. But we'll see, we'll see. I'm thinking that might work because then it would be a lot more easy on the ears to loop. Either way, binary form is very important to know whether it's rounded or simple. The only difference being whether or not the original material comes back at the end. But, yeah, I think that's it. Let's call it a day here. We've been doing this for about an hour now. Thank you to everybody who came on this week. I'm looking forward to seeing all of you again next week. If you got any questions, let me know. All right, I'll stay on for a little bit longer while I blather on. So if you got any questions, make sure to submit them. But next week on Wednesday, I'm releasing part 2 of the melody series. That one's going to focus on developing motivic ideas. So if you're following the melody series, I recommend coming up with a motif or two ahead of time so that you can practice this next week through on how to develop that idea. After that, we'll cover how to turn them into phrase structure, and then we'll wrap up the first phase of the melody series in the 4th week by discussing larger structures and forms that you can use to organize your music. But yeah, so no new questions it looks like, so I am going to let you all go. All right, thank you so very much for stopping by. Hope you have a great one. Bye-bye.